Welcome to First Unitarian Society of Minneapolis, the birthplace of Congregational Humanism. We carry on that tradition of free thought today, dedicated to promoting a free search for truth, meaning, and justice. Our web address is firstunitarian.org. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning. Hey, good morning. There we go. Welcome to First Unitarian Society of Minneapolis. My name is Mike Fossage, and I am the music director here at FUS. I just wanted to share a little bit about the music for this morning as we begin a new month and start to focus on the practice of gratitude for the month of November. First of all, I am extremely grateful to be a part of this beloved community that prioritizes love and acceptance and refuses to accept the litany of hate and cruelty that is raining down from the White House. Being together and affirming each other and our steadfast commitments to justice and equity is essential and empowering in these times. I'm pleased to be joined this morning by our Chalice Choir, who will be singing, who will be singing two selections for us today. One by Leonard Cohen that is called Anthem, that asks us to ring the bells that still can ring and force light into the world however we can. And second, we'll be doing a gospel-inspired piece by Brian Tate called We Are One, which celebrates our shared humanity and our need to continue to stand together. And finally, as an interlude of sorts, I'll be playing a gospel piano solo called Thank You, Lord, which has been a favorite piece of mine for years. And although we are a community largely made up of atheists and agnostics, I hope you find the uplifting power of gospel music a welcome addition into our music ministry here at FUS. And I will just follow that up with saying that we have a very special event happening in a couple weeks here at FUS on Sunday, November 23rd. We're going to be having a music Sunday that will be featuring a local gospel choir called Known Minneapolis. They're a phenomenal group, and I think you will really enjoy their very powerfully positive, uplifting, affirming music. And so please mark your calendars and join us on that morning, Sunday the 23rd, to see Known at Minneapolis right here. Okay, so more about that later, but right now we'll begin with Anthem by Leonard Cohen, and thank you for being with us.
Welcome to First Unitarian Society on this glorious Sunday morning in Minneapolis, Minnesota. On this morning when fall is knocking on our doorsteps, when we had a little extra sleep. This morning, the beginning of November, a month when we're focusing on nurturing gratitude. It is really good to be together, and it matters that you are here today. As we begin, may those of you who are newcomers to this land, those of us who are newcomers, that includes me, be mindful that we live and work and play on the traditional lands of the native peoples who have been here for millennia. We are located on the past, current, and future homelands of the Dakota Oyate, a people who call this area Minnesota Makoche, which translates to land where the waters reflect the skies. May we nurture our gratitude for this beautiful place to call home, for those who have cared for the land and the waters from time immemorial, and for all the indigenous teachings that have been offered to us. We say Miigwech, Chi Miigwech. First Unitarian Society is a member congregation of the Unitarian Universalist Association of Congregations. I'm Reverend Jullan Stoneberg, your Interim Minister. I use she, her pronouns. For those of you who are new with us, an especially warm welcome to you. Please join us for our weekly social time in the lower assembly hall after this service. And if you'd like to connect more, please feel free to ask questions of those sitting near you or stop by the office to sign up to get our e-newsletter. That way you can be in the know about everything that's happening here. We are a multi-generational community, which means that while there is programming for children and youth happening right now, and while there is childcare available down the hall to the left as you exit this space, there is always room for families and kids here in the assembly hall. We welcome your presence, your movements, your sounds. And so now I invite you to turn to one another in greeting, especially reaching out to someone you do not know yet. The folks online are right behind that camera over there, so if you want to give them a wave, you can do that. And if you'd like, there will be a QR code on the screen to access an order of service. Welcome, everybody. Say hello. Such lovely sounds. Our theme for this month, as you've just heard, is nurturing gratitude, and today we are exploring the connection between gratitude and generosity, a reciprocal relationship that lies at the very heart of our interdependence with all that is. We begin with these words by Michelle Collins. We arrive carrying the familiar ache of not enough. Not enough time, not enough rest, not enough certainty about what comes next. But here, in the space between one breath and another, something small and persistent whispers, "You are held." We come from days that felt too ordinary to notice. Commutes and meetings, dishes and deadlines, the unremarkable hours that make up most of living. But buried in the mundane lie small miracles we walk past without seeing. Some of us learn to count blessings on our fingers. others to whisper thanks to ancestors or earth or sky. We carry different languages of gratitude, different ways of recognizing what sustains us. And all of them are welcome here. So come, let us open ourselves to gratitude. When Unitarian Universalists gather, we light a chalice. If you're joining us online, we invite you to create a similar light there as your contribution to our communal fire. Today's chalice lighting words were also written by Michelle Collins, and I invite you to read them with me, freely shared. As we light this chalice with its freely shared light and freely shared warmth, let us be reminded of the many things that are freely shared with us and that we freely share with others. May we lean into generosity shared from the heart that can warm those around us. Our chalice flame is lit in our hearts in this space, and wherever we are gathered, may its light awaken us to the blessings of this day, this morning, this moment that we share. Let's speak our congregational covenant together. Love is the spirit of this place, and service its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. So now we're going to sing of gratitude together. This song was written by my colleague and friend Wendy Luella Perkins, and it has a call and response cadence. We all will sing the call, and the choir is going to do the response. So please rise in body and or spirit. Oh, we give thanks is number 1010 in the Teal Songbook, and the words are on the screen. We're going to sing it through twice. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day, for all gathered here, those far away, this night we share with love and care. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day. For all gathered here, those far away, this time we share with love and care. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day.
Good morning. First Unitarian Society is a congregational humanist community. We are here for each other, our neighbors, and our planet, and one manifestation of that is our caring team. My name is John Welsh, and I'm a member of that team. I'd like to share a story from the 100-Acre Wood, a story by A.A. Milne that illustrates one way we can show up for one another. It occurred to Pooh and Piglet that they hadn't heard from Eeyore for several days, so they put on their hats and coats and trotted across the 100-acre wood to Eeyore's house. Inside the house was Eeyore. "Hello, Eeyore," said Pooh. "Hello, Pooh. Hello, Piglet," said Eeyore in a glum-sounding voice. "We just thought we'd check on you," said Piglet, "because we hadn't heard from you, and so we wanted to make sure you were okay." Eeyore was silent for a moment. Am I okay?" he asked eventually. "Well, I don't know, to be honest. Are any of us really okay? That's what I ask myself. All I can tell you, Pooh and Piglet, is that right now I feel really rather sad and alone and not much fun to be around at all. Which is why I haven't bothered you, because you wouldn't want to waste your time with someone who is sad and alone and not much fun to be around at all, now would you?" Pooh looked at Piglet, and Piglet looked at Pooh, and they both sat down, one on either side of Eeyore in his stick house. Eeyore looked at them in surprise. "What are you doing?" "We're sitting with you," said Pooh, "because we are your friends. And true friends don't care if someone is feeling sad or alone or not much fun to be around at all. True friends are there for you anyway, and so here we are. "Oh," said Eeyore, "oh." And the three of them sat there in silence, and while Pooh and Piglet said nothing at all, somehow, almost imperceptibly, Eeyore started to feel a very tiny little bit better, because Pooh and Piglet were there. No more, no less. There is always joy, both joy and hardship in our midst. If at any time there's something happening in your life that you'd like to share with the care team or with this community, or if you need someone to sit with you, please call the FUS office or send a note to joys and concerns at firstunitarian.org. You can also be in touch with us using the contact form on our website. After the assembly, all are invited to stop by the card basket downstairs to sign cards or send a note to folks you're especially thinking of today, maybe someone you just haven't heard from for a while. Today I share that this coming Saturday, November 8th at 11 a.m., there will be a celebration of life for Steve Pratt, who died in September. All are encouraged to attend and to honor his life and his contributions to the life of FUS. Our thoughts and support go out to the people of Jamaica and Haiti and Cuba and all those in the path of Hurricane Melissa's powerful and destructive path. Even as the death toll rises, may the grieving survivors be able to rebuild their homes and their lives. And today we especially hold in our hearts all those who lost SNAP benefits as of yesterday and who may now be unable to buy food to eat. If you or someone you know is facing this crisis, please refer them to Reverend Jullan. There are also to-go containers filled with food that you can pick up following the mini meal today. Let's take some quiet time together to breathe, to connect with our shared humanity, to feel the solid earth beneath us, and to remember that we are not alone. In the silence, you're invited to reflect on all the joys, losses, griefs, and milestones in our lives, and in the lives of those we love, and in the lives of all beings. May we commit ourselves to showing up for those who need support, to remember all who are suffering here and around the world. A moment of silence.
Please join in singing Filled with Loving Kindness, which is 1031 in the Teal Book, as you're so moved. You can remain seated as we sing. The words are on the screen. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I
This reading comes from the October 2022 edition of Emergence magazine. It was written by Robin Wall Kimmerer, who self-identifies as a mother, scientist, decorated professor, and enrolled member of the Citizen Potawatomi Nation. She is the author of the much-loved book, Braiding Sweetgrass, Indigenous Wisdom, Scientific Knowledge, and the Teaching of Plants. There's a link to the whole essay in the order of service, where you can also hear Robin's own reading of it. She writes, "The cool breath of evening slips off the wooded hills, displacing the heat of the day, and with it come the birds as eager for the cool as I am. They arrive in a flock of calls that sound like laughter, and I have to laugh back with the same delight. They are all around me, cedar waxwings and catbirds, and a flash of bluebird iridescence. I have never felt such a kinship to my namesake, Robin, as in this moment when we are both stuffing our mouths with berries and chortling with happiness. This abundance of berries feels like a pure gift from the land. I have not earned, paid for, nor labored for them. There is no mathematics of worthiness that reckons I deserve them in any way, and yet here they are, along with the sun and the air and the birds and the rain. You could call them natural resources or ecosystem services, but the robins and I know them as gifts. We both sing gratitude with our mouths full. Part of my delight comes from their unexpected presence, the local native serviceberries. Amelanchier arborea have small hard fruits. The bounty in my bucket is a western species, A. alnifolium, known as Saskatoons, planted by my farmer neighbor, and this is their first bearing year, which they do with an enthusiasm that matches my own. In Potawatomi, it is called bozakman, which is a superlative, the best of the berries. I agree with my ancestors on the rightness of that name. Imagine a fruit that tastes like a blueberry crossed with the satisfying heft of an apple, a touch of rose water, and a minuscule crunch of almond-flavored seeds. They taste nothing like a grocery store has to offer. Wild, complex with a chemistry that your body recognizes as the real food it's been waiting for. For me, the most important part of the word bozakman is min, the root word for berry. It appears in our Potawatomi words for blueberry, strawberry, raspberry, even apple, maize, and wild rice. The revelation in that word is a treasure for me because it is also the root word for gift. In naming the plants who shower us with goodness, we recognize that these are gifts from our plant relatives, manifestations of their generosity, care, and creativity. When we speak of these not as things or products or commodities, but as gifts, the whole relationship changes. I can't help but gaze at them, cupped like jewels in my hand, and breathe out my gratitude. In the presence of such gifts, gratitude is the intuitive first response. Gratitude is the thread that connects us in a deep relationship, simultaneously physical and spiritual, as our bodies are fed and spirits nourished by the sense of belonging, which is the most vital of foods. Gratitude creates a sense of abundance, the knowing that you have what you need. If our first response is gratitude, then our second is reciprocity, to give a gift in return. Gratitude and reciprocity are the currency of a gift economy, and they have the remarkable property of multiplying with every exchange, their energy concentrating as they pass from hand to hand, a truly renewable resource. I accept the gift from the bush and then spread that gift with a dish of berries to my neighbor, who makes a pie to share with his friend, who feels so wealthy in food and friendship that he volunteers at the food pantry. You know how it goes. To name the world as gift is to feel one's membership in the web of reciprocity. It makes you happy and it makes you accountable. Conceiving of something as a gift changes your relationship to it in a profound way, even though the physical makeup of that thing has not changed. This is the power of gift thinking.
Oh my, I can be grateful for that for sure. Thanks, Mike. I have never really been very good at crafting catchy and intriguing titles. And today I must apologize for really one of the lamest titles ever. While I knew I wanted to talk about generosity this morning, I just couldn't seem to get my head around, in this month dedicated to nurturing gratitude, how to weave those two things together. And ultimately, I decided to try to sort it out in real time with you, leaving me with a rather lame working title, Grateful, Generous, or Both and. Because while the connection between generosity and gratitude is a profound one, I think their deeply intertwined relationship can be one that's difficult to grok. There's a story told by Reverend Janet Parsons about how this particular conundrum recently manifested itself within our tradition. A couple of years ago, the Unitarian Universalist Association made some significant changes to our statement of purpose, switching from a statement of 7 principles to an embrace of 7 core values with love at the center, illustrated as such. And at the General Assembly in 2023, a year before the final vote, the proposed new value statement was presented by the Article 2 Study Commission, and the inclusion of generosity as a value surprised some, which led a group of delegates to propose amending that value to gratitude instead. Gratitude, those people felt, is such an important spiritual practice that it should be considered to be of higher value than generosity. Therefore, rather than generosity, gratitude should be named as one of Unitarian Universalism's core values. Well, the vice chair of the commission, the Reverend Cheryl M. Walker, spoke to that, noting that the commission had talked a great deal about gratitude, but that it had come to them that the ultimate goal of gratitude is generosity. In other words, they felt that generosity was a higher value than gratitude. Reverend Walker went on to say that if we are merely grateful for what we have and are not in turn generous with our time and our love in our community, then our gratitude is simply an exercise in individualism. Perhaps gratitude then is better understood as something that calls upon us to be generous, to use our blessings to serve the world. Well, in the end, generosity won out, and it is now part of our constellation of values. Well, here's something that might be seen as the opposing view. Way back in 2006, Reverend Dr. Galen Gingrich, then Senior Minister at All Souls Unitarian in New York City, gave a sermon on gratitude in which he posited that gratitude should be claimed as the heart of Unitarian Universalism, seeming to say that gratitude is the higher value than generosity. Big picture, Gingrich said that religion, what we might rename as the practice of meaning-making, is made up of 2 human impulses. The first is the sense of awe and a sense of obligation. Interestingly, I just heard in that reading, Robin Wall Kimmerer named those things as happiness and accountability, awe and a sense of obligation. When we practice gratitude, Gingrich said that we're reminded of the gifts and the grandeur of life, and of how utterly dependent we are on everything around us. And as we notice that dependence, we then can understand our obligation to reciprocate. So gratitude fosters an environment in which, as we are nurtured, we nurture the world in return. So which is it, gratitude or generosity? Which is the higher value? Which comes first? Remember that flower of values that was up on the screen a few minutes ago? Each of those values, love, justice, equity, transformation, pluralism, individualism, or interdependence, love, justice, equity, transformation, pluralism, interdependence, and generosity, each of them come with a short statement of meaning and commitment. And the generosity value statement says, we cultivate a spirit of gratitude and hope. We covenant to freely and compassionately share our faith, our presence, and our resources. Our generosity connects us to one another in relationships of interdependence and mutuality. So, then to be generous involves cultivating a spirit of gratitude. And if we're generous, we're able to connect in relationships of this interdependence and mutuality, relationships that inspire gratitude. Maybe it's a chicken and egg thing. Generosity breeds gratitude, gratitude breeds generosity. Which way is it? Now, in my experience, which I don't assume to be universal, I have sometimes felt that when asked to give or to be generous, I seem to arrive at a crossroads. Too often, I fear that my response, my decision about which way to go in that moment is just a little stingy. Okay, I know I should give, but do I have enough? Do I have the money and the time and energy that's needed? And besides, what I have to give doesn't really matter that much. I don't really have that much. I'd love to respond differently, to make a different choice, but sometimes I just don't. And this stinginess, I believe, is one of the byproducts of toxic capitalism, a system in which we are taught to take without giving in return, to use resources without replenishing them, to take more than we need. And this stinginess, I think, may be seated in our nation's founding principles. Now, I know that we are working hard right now to preserve and reclaim many of those principles, and that work is so critical. But the founding principles that focus on the freedom of the individual above accountability to others fosters this individualism and tempts us to disregard the reality that we do utterly depend on the people and the world around us. Instead, we're taught to think that we're the masters of our own destiny, that everything we have earned, that we have a right to win, which leads to competition and the desire to have more and more and more, and to grab and to cling. This is not who I want to be. Yet while I resent these impulses that capitalism has instilled in me, I still can be stingy. So why is that? Because really, 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 I have so much. I have everything I need. Everything I need is right here. My teacher, Sally Gico Tisdale, tells that in her experience, when as a young woman she had almost nothing, she celebrated any gift she received with gratitude. And since she was constantly aware of the gifts she received, she believes that that made her much more likely to act in the same way, to give what she had freely. But now she writes, she has a house and a car and a savings account, and she doesn't always feel so generous. Sometimes she gives reluctantly, maybe because she has more things to lose. And she writes, gratitude, the simple and profound feeling of being thankful, is the foundation of all generosity. I'm generous when I believe that right now, right here, in this form and this place, I am myself being given what I need. Generosity requires that we relinquish something, and this is impossible if we are not glad for what we have. Otherwise, the giving hand closes into a fist and won't let go, unquote. That's deep, I think. We're unable to let go unless and until we are grateful for what we have. So it has nothing to do with what we have or how much we have of it, but rather about feeling grateful for it. So, which is it? If Reverend Walker is right, we should be practicing gratitude more as an antidote for individualism so that we can live into open-handed generosity. If Reverend Gingrich is right, practicing generosity more would feed our awareness of how much we are nurtured by the world, allowing us to lean into gratitude. If Tisdale is right, well, if we're not grateful, generosity simply doesn't happen. So let's return to the serviceberry and Robin Wall Kimmerer. Her new little book called The Serviceberry. It's a wonderful little read. It's all about abundance and reciprocity. And even though the reading that Sandy shared came from Emergence magazine, that essay is also in this book. All flourishing is mutual, she says, and that this is a lesson that the natural world teaches us. All flourishing is mutual. Kimmerer talks of the gift economy, an economy whose currency is gratitude and reciprocity, and which is defined as a system of distribution of goods and services that meets the needs of the community. Imagine that. a gift economy that meets the needs of the community, a system that prioritizes relationships and reciprocity in the interest of collective thriving. Collective thriving, can we just imagine it? Kimmerer writes, gratitude and reciprocity have the remarkable property of multiplying with every exchange. Their energy, concentrating as they pass from hand to hand, is a truly renewable resource. I accept the gift from the bush, and then I spread that gift with a dish of berries to my neighbors, who makes a pie to share with his friend who feels so wealthy in food and friendship that he volunteers at the food pantry. You know how it goes, unquote. But do we know how it goes? Can we trust our mutual flourishing enough to open our hands in generosity? Well, what if the practice of gratitude is a way to counteract hyperconsumption? What if we were to truly lean into a gift economy enough to trust that there is sufficient to meet our needs? And what if that could alleviate that stingy clinging we sometimes feel? I feel like we could arrive at that intersection where we're being asked to be generous and there feel gratitude and simply want to reciprocate in every way that we can. Gratitude for having enough, gratitude for existing in a system of reciprocity, gratitude for our ability to share. And right there and then, to be able to open our hand in every direction, to participate in that mutual flourishing, to practice restoration and return, to practice taking only what we need. All of which, by the way, would also address climate catastrophe and the loss of biodiversity. Kimmerer suggests that if our first response is gratitude, then our second will be reciprocity, to give a gift in return, and that's generosity. We offer a song of thanks. We offer some direct service, whether that be washing dishes or watering the garden. We make a donation so that others might receive gifts. We reduce our carbon footprint or advocate for the preservation of the land. Now, I know that, unfortunately, we do not yet exist in a gift economy, not fully. Far too many do not receive enough to flourish. There's just so much work to do. And in these difficult and overwhelming times, I think it's really hard to know what to do. So here's the thing. No matter what, we can still live our values. We can still practice gratitude and reciprocity in so many ways, small and mighty and meaningful ways. Generosity and gratitude obviously do not need to compete, not any more than we need to compete. They don't need a catchy title. They're in and of themselves a mutually replenishing system. And to rank them is a false dichotomy because neither takes precedent. Both are needed. They feed each other. Both are life-changing practices, and each needs the other in order to flourish. So may we cultivate and nourish them. Because values don't always come automatically. They have to be tended. And a great reason for being in a community such as this is that it helps us to do just that, to grow our gratitude, to grow our generosity. And as we walk together trusting in the power of love and the potential of humanity, we come together in community to be more conscious and intentional about the values we are striving to live. That's ethical education. As is often quoted in closing here in the words of Howard Thurman, the world needs more people who have come alive. And really, what better way to describe being alive than being part of a mutually flourishing system? So please, go out and flourish, that you may pass it along to others in gratitude and in generosity. I am grateful for you. May it ever be so. Amen. And so now we sing again in gratitude for this life that we have, lives that, like serviceberries, can be offered in the service of the common good. For all that is our life is number 128 in the Gray Songbook. So please rise or sit with gusto to sing. The lyrics will be on the screen.
Wow, a lot of people here today. This is great. Good morning, everyone. My name is Barb Lutz, and my pronouns are she and her. I'm currently a member of the Foundation Board and a past member of the Board of Trustees. I've been active with the Marketing Committee, the Auction Committee, as well as sponsoring a number of refugee families. I believe in the mission of FUS and the social justice work we do. First Unitarian Society of Minneapolis is a free, independent, and self-governing humanist community. We are the proud birthplace of Congregational Humanism. Our mission is to foster a free search for knowledge and meaning, to strive for justice, and to serve one another, the Twin Cities and beyond. Your financial support means that we can work toward this mission together and is a really important element in turning our shared vision into reality. To give, you can use the QR code on the screen, which will take you to our online giving form, where you can designate how you'd like your donation used. And you know you can always stop by our office or mail in your donation. If you have questions about contributions, please ask me or another board member or any of the staff. As the baskets are passed, you are invited to give generously and joyfully as you are willing and able. Thank you.
So I think many of you already know, but this is Super Roll Sunday. So today you get to enjoy fresh homemade cinnamon rolls baked on site by our trusty baking team. If you didn't pre-order before the service, you can purchase them in the lower assembly hall. They do go fast, and just note that all proceeds will benefit the minister's discretionary fund. Also note that there's a new art show in the gallery. You can join artist Howard Oransky at 12:15 for a discussion of his work. Also, your FUS board is meeting in retreat this afternoon and evening. We'll be all shuttling off soon after the social time. This Wednesday, the 4th, from 6:30 to 8 p.m. is the first in a 3-part series called Meet the Moment. We'll view some videos prepared by the UUA to help us navigate the realities of escalating authoritarianism and the climate crisis and seismic shifts in our social landscape. I hope you can join me for that series. That comes right after Connection Circles, which you can show up for at 5:15 for soup and conversation. Then, this Saturday, November 8th, from 5 to 6:30, out front, we'll be here to offer another training for LGBTQ+ equity. If you're interested in helping to make FUS a more welcoming place for all, or if you'd like to increase your own understanding, please come. All ages are welcome. Our next foraging for our future conversation is happening next Sunday, November 9th, from 12:15 to 2, right here in this room. These are important conversations for all of us, as FUS navigates this ministerial transition. And Suzanne has a couple things to share.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Suzanne. I'm the membership director here. If you're a visitor today, we are so happy you decided to spend your Sunday with us. If you'd like to learn more about Congregational Humanist Society that we have here, I'm hosting a 30-minute welcome session at 12:15 today in room 307, which is right across the elevator on the 3rd floor over there. Additionally, you are invited to participate in our Pathways program from 10 to noon on Saturday the 15th. Over lunch, we will talk with community members about various aspects of FUS and answer any questions you might have about the society. Childcare is available upon request, and any kind of dietary needs can be accommodated. I hope to see you today at 12:15 for the welcome session and on the 15th for Pathways.
So finally, after the assembly, for those here in person, I hope that you'll stick around for what we call a mini meal. Today it may seem a little more mini because it's complementing the rolls, so it consists of a selection of savory snacks. If you're not here in person, I do hope that you have some lovely plans for the afternoon. You can spend time with friends. I'm glad you were here with us today. So now, take all these things into your hearts. Take a moment to soak in all that we've shared. Let's hold each other in love as our chalice choir sings for us once again. Oops.
We are
So much to be grateful for. Let's wrap up our time together in this space by extinguishing our chalice. Please join Marcelo and me in speaking the words on the screen. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. All these we carry in our hearts and in our minds until we are together again. And as a benediction, which means a good word in parting, I offer the words of Sandra Fee's A Grateful Heart. May you rise in the morning and greet the dawn with a grateful heart. Throughout the day, may you accept the simple gifts that arise: food, shelter, water, sunshine, with a grateful heart. May you greet others whose paths you cross with that same gratefulness. And when evening comes, when you greet sleep with a grateful heart, may you feel a heart of compassion and joy. So go now carrying with you the peace, the strength, and the compassion found in this loving community. Practice gratitude, be generous, and rejoice in the mutual flourishing of all that is. So may it always be.